What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl September K, Bronx beats and bars in the building. BX stand up. What's poppin', y'all? Bronx Nest stand up. We in the building.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl September K, Bronx beats and bars in the building. I am here in Co-op City with my guy, Pyro Traxx. P.Y. was good, brother.
It's good, Kay. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. It's been forever.
Fact.
Now, last episode, a lot of people who didn't see it, check it out. But for those who did, you know that I spoke highly of Pyro. He is a producer, entertainer, rapper, writer extraordinaire. And I just wanted to make sure that we got this time in because, like, you're one of the reasons why I've been so motivated to do this show because of, like, our history, period. Like, I've known you now since, what, 2006? The MySpace era.
2006? For real?
Yeah, the MySpace era was crazy. That's when everybody had the backgrounds with the music on it and whatnot.
And all that good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Just on MySpace, just trying to look for old music because I was trying to find some and get some inspiration of it, you know?
Yeah.
Do that sometime. Look for old music, recreate something that was super fire back then, and it's relevant now.
Right.
You could do that. A lot of people that came out with fire music, they did that song probably 3-4 years ago.
And then now, yeah.
And it's fire now.
We did a lot of tracks together. Like, I remember coming here and just getting my bars up, like, very inspirational, very motivating, and I humbly thank you for that. Like, I used to watch you create, like, oh man, like, from the top of your head to the, like, I would just sit in awe and just be like, yo, how did he do this? And you would just go back and forth on the board, like, it was always the,
Gotta find the sound.
Yes. So, what is your motivation for music? What inspired you to get into music, period?
I could remember the actual day. I was about maybe 5. And I only say 5 because that's the youngest age that I could remember where you could still understand things at this time. And we was living in a basement apartment on 176. And my father had all the equipment just like this in the basement.
Right.
But me, every day I'm listening to his songs, I'm singing his songs, but I'm drawing. Like, I was into drawing growing up, you know, like drawing Ninja Turtles and cartoon characters. And one day I'm singing it, and I just see him pressing the piano, and I'm like, oh, the sound is coming out from the piano.
Right.
I want to know how to do that. He just taught me, you know, what button does what and how to record it, and from there I was hooked. Like, I was interested every day. Now, at that time I wasn't using it by myself, but every day he would teach me something new.
Right.
I would say to the age of 12 is where I really was like, I want to do this. So, you know, I just asked him if I could use it. I started using it so much that I ended up teaching him things.
Wow.
So that was my motivation. So, and it was just beats. Then I'm like, damn, these is beats, but you know, I used to rhyme to my own beats. I wasn't that good of a freestyler, but I would rhyme to my own beats, write to my own beats, and never record it. And just one day I was like, let me record it. And I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have no flow yet because I was so into the fast rap. By the time I actually started recording, I had to get my slow flow right. So I don't have no fast raps recorded from when I was young. But if you ask everybody and my niggas in school, they'll tell you. I was battling niggas, rhyming fast. I was on the lunch table ciphers, rhyming fast. Let me get that Aaliyah beat, tell me, oh, that's somebody. Nobody was rhyming on that beat except for me.
You know what's so crazy? I remember you talking about that before. About the Are You That Somebody?
That was my favorite.
I remember that.
Back in the day. Favorite joint.
So your dad, he was in music. He had a group out, right? He was in a group, or he...
Yeah, he had a group out. BMP. I want to say it's BMP or BPM, but only because, you know, beats per minute, I get confused because BPM is so close. So, but that was Butch, Marlon, and Peter. Peter was my father. You know, he wrote, arranged, songs, and he produced too. So it's kind of like in my blood already. Like,
right.
I just took that on. That talent came to me, and I just discovered it. Like, you know, when you're born with it, it's a gift. Like, you just gotta hone it. You gotta know how to unwrap your gift, I guess. So once I started following my interests, I started realizing what I could do. Like, wow.
That's
like, it's a miracle what you can find out when you actually try to find it.
That's the truth. Damn, that definitely is true. So do you have like any of your old like music that you recorded when you first started, or when you first got into like music, getting into the technology and everything?
That's crazy. In the last 2 days, I was just listening to old CDs. That's why I have these CDs right here. Old beats that I used to rhyme on. 08 PY. The happy birthday song I did for my father when he turned 50. Happy birthday songs. Me and my cousin. Beats, like, it's crazy. All of these we was listening to.
Right.
And I was posting them up on Instagram, and it's just like such a nostalgic thing, but inspirational at the same time to see where you came from.
Right.
And to hear how good you actually was compared to now.
And again, because I witnessed for years seeing you get on the mic and just get busy, do verses over again, go back, compose, fix the beat, change an arrangement, go back, like everything, and you did it with like, it just was so fluid, like.
That's conviction right there.
You wasn't frustrated, you was just so zoned in, and it was just like, wow, it's amazing to see, amazing to witness. Of course. Shoot, you have
witnessing that though. That's
a
lot of people don't witness that.
Yeah, exactly. But to see it and really, and I vouch, like, what? Peach, y'all bugging. Who you know that can write, rhyme, sing, compose? And I remember when your dad used to come in, throw his ideas in. And
he still does.
Yeah.
He still come in the studio like, yo, I just heard something. Yeah, I ain't do. Let me just let you know if you like this or not.
And that just like, it just makes it different. It makes the dynamic different. So one thing I want to know though is, with all your talent, like, how was your journey? Like, what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna stay an indie artist, as opposed to really wanting to shop to the major labels and things like that? What made you just say, you know what, nah, this is where I'm at, I'm good? Because with your talent, you could get a production deal, you could get a writer, you can ghostwrite for people.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely trying to do that. I'm working on that right now. Even trying to get my music in TV shows and
dope.
I just did the it's called a Never Heard movie. I'm on the soundtrack with my bro Mike Flowers. It's his song. I'm featured, and the song is called Never Heard. But then my process and everything was more so like at 17, I was more of an anxious artist. Like, you know, everything was moving fast at that time. Rough Riders, Dipset, everybody was just coming out, flying out. So coming with the time, there was no internet going crazy. The fastest way to get out is to have a street team or be outside on the street. I used to be with my bros, and we go on the train. The furthest one, I could go to the furthest part of Brooklyn or Queens, and we go to every train station, and we ride the train all the way until we get to another train, and then ride that through that borough, and we were selling CDs like that. Then I just grew to realize, okay, I gotta do showcases. I gotta show people the talent. They don't know what's going on behind the boards unless they hear what I create. That went to having meetings with Atlantic, Warner Brothers, Sony. Sony had actually at that time wanted to sign me at 17, 18, but the manager I had at that time was like, nah, they're not trying to give you enough money. This is just gonna be a 360. You're gonna be working this off forever. I'll thank him for that.
Right.
But at that time, I didn't even care. You gotta understand, like, just getting in there to show people your work ethic was better than getting paid at the time. I'm an artist. Like, I'm doing this anyway. Why not do this and have people see how I do this?
Right.
And then they'll pay for it. Whatever I would have got would be more than I was getting at the time at 17, 18. Trust me. So at that time, learning things, even splitting with that manager, doing a lot of things independent, stopping music for a couple years to work on just what do I really want to do with life,
right?
And realizing it's music. No matter if I'm gonna write, produce, or anything, I came to a point where I got a meeting with Electric. Now, Merlin Bob, shout out to Merlin, that's my actual like blood cousin. At that age, he told me, he sat, listened to everything, eyes closed, he was feeling it, but he honestly just said, what do you really want to do? Do you want to produce? Do you want to write? Or do you want to be an artist? You got to work on one of them like hard, like solely, before you can actually pursue all three. Because, you know, I want to do all three. Kanye's out, he's doing it.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying? Eminem just started getting into it after rhyming for so many years. Dre taught him how to make beats. Why can't I do it now?
Right.
I was just so heavy on teaching myself. So the more I started teaching myself, I started realizing these independent artists coming out have way more freedom. Mind you, I still wasn't worried about the money at this time. I was worried about my freedom and controlling my creativity. And seeing that, and seeing who came out, Soulja Boy came out off of a dance. And the internet started getting crazy. All of that is true. Like, he was one of the first artists to come out like that. Internet, social media, and made millions of dollars. Ringtones. You didn't have a Soulja Boy ringtone. If you didn't have a Soulja Boy ringtone, you had a ringtone. Period, back in the day.
Right.
So that game was crazy, and learning about that by yourself let me know I didn't need a record deal. I didn't need a record deal. Like, record labels need the artists in order to be the record label. If an artist is out here shopping independent and they have everything that all the fans are, they're attracted to, the labels ain't getting no money. You getting it all. Now, you getting all the attention, of course, because you want that for your craft, but at an overall spectrum, it's paying off way more than a label would pay off, because it's no jail, there's no 360, there's no nothing. Every deal that you want to make is between you and the dealer, or the endorsement, or, you know, the show that wants to book you, or whoever wants to book you is just between you and the show. You might have a manager now and then, or how you say, PR, PR, all of that, that's good too. All of that is good, but at the end of the day, beginning of the night, that's what I'm gonna start teaching you. At the beginning of the night is where you want to be independent, and that's the realest I could tell you. Learning that at the age I'm in now, in my 30s, I'm comfortable. Like with my little streams, I'm gonna get more streams, but the more streams I'm getting is the more revenue for me, and, you know, whoever's helping me.
Right.
Not a whole big umbrella range corporation or label where it's getting broken down 3-4 ways before I even see a dollar.
And you're the one putting in the work.
Whoa, whole work. You be working for somebody else. That's the same thing as working a 9 to 5. You working for somebody else still. You still working for their dream. That label is to have all the most successful artists.
Right.
But that's their success. Like, you a success in their eyes because they getting paid off of you. But you feel like you doing it all and not getting nothing.
Right.
So where's the love in that? And where's the, you know what I mean? Where's the fulfillment in that? As an artist, people that's doing that, stop doing that. You cheating your spirit. Don't do it if you don't want to do it.
Right.
For real.
Do you feel like a lot of indie artists today are cheating themselves? Like, do you see it from a different vantage point than I do? So do you feel like a lot of these artists are like selling themselves short and just jumping out with the anticipation like that you had when you were 17? Like, do you see these young boys and these young female artists now? Do you think that they should just, if it was you, what would you tell them? Like, don't do it this way, do it that way. What would be your advice? Like,
actually, the way they doing it now, I would encourage it more.
Okay.
Because the mission was always to be seen. And when there was no social media, it's way harder to be seen. You have to be heard about first for people to see you.
Yeah.
Now you could be seen and nobody knows your name yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Now they could sing your song and don't know your name. record it, put it online, tag somebody, and then they know who you are, and then it's over. It's 1 million views. But you just gotta know what to do with that now. Now
Right.
you gotta know how to work what you got. Like, people are looking at you. Like, now you gotta take that attention and put it to where you want them to pay attention to it. If that makes any sense. So the social media and everything nowadays, I feel is the greatest thing for indie artists. I don't think any indie artist is kicking themselves right now, unless they really wanted to be behind a label and get that upfront money. You gotta be worth like millions quick for a label to give you a lot of money and not want to control you. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
So on the production side, like, what would you consider yourself? Because someone asked me to ask, like, all my producers on the show, are you a producer or are you a beat maker? And what's the difference between the two in your opinion?
I like this question. I'm gonna tell you, because the nigga in the lunchroom banging on the table is making beats. But he produced it in his mind how he wants to do it. Like, I'm gonna get this bottle. Oh, this top sounds good. Like, so I would say in a form of production, you can paint a production in your mind before you actually put it down. And then there's programs, like that's a large area and a wide way to answer this, because DJ Khaled is a producer, but he's a DJ. But you don't see him behind the boards, hitting the keys, finding the notes, getting the sounds, chopping the samples. You don't see him doing that. So when you say DJ Khaled produced the record, you gotta ask yourself, damn, did he really produce the idea of the record? And somebody else sat there and made the beat?
Right.
See what I'm saying? That's a big difference between somebody here sitting, coming up with the idea, finding the sounds, and not just programming it on Fruity Loops. Like, I like playing my shit. I don't like clicking the shit in Fruity Loops. I like recording it and playing the shit on my keyboard. Like, it's a big difference. Playing the drums, that's another form of beat making. Playing the actual instrument is beat making. As an artist, you always produce the idea and you create it in your mind. But it's production after you make the beat. Like, it doesn't become the production until you produce the idea and make the beat. So DJ Khaled could produce the idea, but RZA is always making the beats. Like, not saying they work together, but when you think about it, that's how it goes. RZA, he'll sit down and find his shit. I used to hear people say, oh, Timbaland don't make his beats. Other people sit down and make the beats while he produces it. When I actually seen Timbaland on video, hitting the keys, doing the drum patterns, finding the sounds himself. So the big difference between a producer and a beat maker is actually what it is. You produce and create sound. You can do that without being able to touch a keyboard or anything.
Right.
Just like Khaled said, yo, I'll be in the studio and I'll be like, yeah, find a sound like that. Like, yo, anybody could do that.
Right.
But to really create it, like, sometimes a producer could just be a reference to a beat, an idea. Just like you could make a reference song or reference an idea to somebody and they actually go record it, but it was your idea.
Right.
That's the big difference. But a beat maker can do both. If you want to really chop it down. Not all producers can sit behind a board and know how to beat make it. That's why I've heard of a lot of producers being DJs, but the DJs I know, shout out DJ Flawless, Bronx born, and Rockin' Rob, that's his pops. He makes beats and DJs, but makes the beats off of the DJ sounds. With the scratch, he'll take your voice. Come on, like, that's producing and beat making in one. So it's hard to separate it if you're actually a beat maker. But if you're a producer, you have to ask a producer, are you a beat maker?
Deep. Like, I was like, wow.
So if you're a beat maker, you gotta know, like, yeah, he produces it because he's coming up with all of this himself. Nobody's sitting there giving him ideas, although they can, but 90% of the time, a beat maker is coming up with everything themselves. Ideas or even inspiration. Hearing a fire beat they heard from somebody else, and they get an idea to use the structure of that beat the same way, but it'll be a complete library of different sounds that he's using.
Have you ever lost like motivation doing this? How does that? I mean, I know people lose motivation when they feel like, oh, I don't want to do it, but then is there ever a long period of time where you just like went on hiatus and just stopped? And what happened during that process to make you, what happened during the process to make you stop, and what happened during the process to make you start again?
Well, I don't think I had a real long hiatus, but the times that I did stop was like a focus game for me.
Okay.
Life hits you different ways, and you gotta be focused on both sides of the spectrum. And you gotta feel like, okay, is this music interfering? Is doing what I want to do interfering with what I have to do? And it comes to a point where you gotta turn what you want to do into what you have to do at the same time.
Right.
Otherwise, it'll always take over you. But I would say all those times it wasn't like something that happened and it stopped me. Like, I came to a conclusion, like, let me chill. But I would always write, or I would always, like, even if I would have writer's block, I don't stumble across writer's block as much anymore because I believe in the art of just freely expressing, like the freestyle. Like, I believe in that. Even if you don't know what you're saying, you just keep talking. Sometimes the thoughts come to you and you'll get what you want to say. A lot of people like to write and it's not what they feeling. It's just they want to hear themselves say something hot. Sometimes not saying nothing at all will get you to where you need to be, where you start saying exactly what you want to say. My hiatuses were more like just periods in my life where I had to fall back and make sure, okay, I knew what I wanted to do is what I wanted to do.
Right.
And then you just get signs along the way knowing or helping you know that you're going the right way.
Right.
And then once that starts happening, there's no more doubts in your life. Everything is just forward motion, staying positive, creating relationships, and keeping those relationships.
No doubt.
And that's how I stayed afloat. And even now, like, there's people that's my age they either lost the love or they don't know how to comprehend what's going on right now and relate it to how they want to express it. So you hear them, they have songs that sound like it's outdated.
Right.
It's like, oh, y'all should give up, but that's the point. Like, they never moved on and sat back and focused to what is happening right now. Shit moving fast. Like I said, social media, everything is moving fast. Everything. Today, yesterday, Lil Nas X comes out, and then tomorrow, 6ix9ine is getting out of jail. Not literally, but a snitch is getting out of jail with a $10 million plus deal. Like,
I've heard like so many people talk about that, like, oh, because
I understand it though.
Break that down because some people feel like oh, he's snitching, he should have took witness protection, and then there's some people like, yo, people don't need, like, the fans now, these kids out here, they don't care about any of that, they just care about the music.
Right. That's exactly what's happening right now. The same way people could listen to Young M.A. and not care if she's gay or not.
Fact.
Same way Lil Nas, they don't care if he's gay or not.
Right.
The world has become sensitized but desensitized to specific things if it's working for you.
Right.
So, just like Cardi, I think she's the first successful stripper or Eve too.
Yeah.
But she fell back. But Cardi is like, she's taking it. So it's just more of a comfort level that we've been programmed to getting used to. Like, who was it? Wait, touch on the last part of your question.
What do I feel like as far as like with the music?
Right.
Like, do the fans feel like, do they care at this point whether or not?
The 6ix9ine point. So, I mean, he went 12 for 12 on the Billboards. A lot of artists ain't doing that every like 11, 12 songs in a row. That shows you that the fans didn't really care about what's going on. A lot of people just want to hear the music. Like, sometimes you can't involve the person with the message. If the music is good, you fucking with it. Just like a bunch of people out there don't fuck with Trump, but they fucking with what he's doing. I can't blame them. I can't blame them because it's coming from a certain spectrum, but it is what it is.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing about it. Like, you'll have people that have a message to relay, but people will get an emotional attachment to the person because they don't like the person.
Right.
But if you ever listen to what they saying, you might actually learn something
from them. Right.
From it, yeah.
Right.
So the 6ix9ine thing, I mean, that was his personal things that happened. I come from where don't get into it if that's how you're gonna get out of it. Like, you don't get into that type of life. That's the snitch rules apply to the street rules. Right. If you join the street, then you have to apply to the snitch rules and all that comes with that.
Right, the whole street code, yeah.
And now I get what happened. He got betrayed, but had you not stepped into a situation where you had to pay to become this person and get all of this protection, that wouldn't have happened. Right. And then this wouldn't have happened. So it's on both of them. Like, they accepted it, even though the offer was made, they accepted. Well, it's like they both got to accept what's happening right now. Yeah. This guy's going to come out with no time, and he's going to get back to his music. I'm not going to care. Like R. Kelly, I still like his music. I don't care. Like,
there's so many things here separated. Like, a lot of people, that's
just it is what it is. Yeah. I can't tell you what you should listen to, and you can't tell me what I should listen to. But when you feel something, it's not the person, it's like the sounds, the sonics, the vibe. Like, that comes from the music, and I don't feel nothing about the person when I'm listening to music. It's the music for me. Now, if you're telling me your life in the music, that's the only way I'm gonna look at you while I'm listening to the music. If you're trying to tell me how you lived in the music, but I don't believe 90% of the shit that's happening unless, you know what I mean, I've been watching you and you rapping the shit I've been seeing. Right. That's it. You gotta take it as entertainment.
Right. Alright, well, we'll be back. Flow of the show is 316 next. We're here with Pyro Traxx.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, y'all. Bronx Beats and Barz. We'll be back in a minute. Peace.
Traxx.
If your wordplay is subpar, sorry, you gotta go. The only way to stand out is if you got flow.
Bueno.
Alright, y'all. September K Bronx Beats and Barz back in the building with Flow of the show. Bad. We got my man PY. Pyro Traxx in the building. Yeah. So right now we're going to talk a little bit about his latest EP entitled The Difference. Now, tell us a little bit about that. What's going on with that?
So my first idea of The Difference was because of the different amount of, I would say, concepts I had on the mixtape. Like, most of them don't go together, but you hear it, like, you can relate to them, like, you know, some everyday life shit if you actually looked at all of the titles. Then my man's fourth side Barz, Pie Designs, shout out Barz. He just came up with that idea. I guess he might have heard Rich already. Yeah. And just made the cover off hearing that song. Yeah. Because that was the basis, and that in turn made me, you know, pay more attention to where I placed Rich on the mixtape.
Let's talk about that real quick, because when I listened to Rich, it was basically like, okay, these are the things that you want to do when you get, you know, rich, accumulate more wealth, land. Facts. You know, not just for yourself, but for your family. You know that by doing this, a lot of things are going to be different with a lot of your peers. But at the same time, that's still not going to stop you from where you want to go. But then you also just jumped in your verse and was just breaking stuff down. Just dropping gems. And I was like, wow, so you're talking about stocks, you're talking about bonds, you talk about shares, and you said one thing is, with that, you share. that means that it's not gonna be just about you. So when you're thinking about wealth, you're thinking about just a compound interest of it, like breaking it out, spreading it out for years to come. So I think that was one of the dopest things that I saw, because that kind of like goes with like the artwork, how you have it, you know, I was like, So when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay.
And that song was done before the artwork.
Wow.
So it just fit. Even though I don't think he heard that, I just feel like we was in tune. We was on the same vibe. Like,
right.
We was resonating with the same thoughts. I just gave him a title and I said, put it on a chalkboard and show that this is one way and this is the other way.
That's fire.
Just, I swear, like, I couldn't ask for a better cover. So, are we talking about Rich right now?
Let's talk about Rich right now. Let's get it.
So the way Rich came about was, I always had this concept, like, for years. Like, I always thought of this, and you know, it just was never the right beat or the right instrumental. How I do it, I play a beat and I'll just start humming to it, and words just come up. But if it fluently comes up quick, I know, okay, now I could just go into a melody. Like, all of that happens with the couple of 4 bars of playing the beat, and I actually start saying something. You know, a lot of the time I walk around just think about it, but when I actually start humming something, is when it comes out. So I had when I get rich, I had that, had that. But as I grew up, you know, the in-between lines changed. The lines about what you want to do.
You can hear it you can hear it.
Changed.
You can
like,
definitely hear it.
The first time I actually thought about when I get rich, it was more materialistic. It was more cars. But now, and here I'm talking about cars, but I have my own land.
Right.
I'm not just talking about cars to still be living in a crib, an apartment, or a house. You know what I mean? I never really was a house nigga. Take that in 2 puns if you want. But, you know, condo, apartment, all that type of shit, I like that. Even though if I'm living outdoors, I want my house to be like, I can open the roof type shit and be outside at the same time. But this is the type of things that you don't see all the time, and you need your own wealth to accumulate things that you want to do, especially your own land. It ain't just about the money, it's about the land. Like, the money's the tool, the land is that's where you want to go. Now, it might not be for everybody, but I could buy land over there and you could buy property on my land, and I still have more say so in your property because it's my land.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Get that down pat. Don't worry about the exterior. Like, get to the interior first and build on top of that.
Right.
You know, the support system and the structure starts from the bottom. So if you purchase and invest on what comes from the bottom, you get everything that builds on top of that.
Right. And let's talk about Watch Later.
Let's get it.
Because what I like about that is, like, you bubble quietly and then you just boom. Don't let everybody know your moves. I think that's one of the best things, a great life lesson that you could just teach anybody. But when it comes to, like, your goals and how you want to accumulate wealth and how you want to just follow your dreams, I think that it's best to really just don't say much.
Right.
Just keep it to yourself. And then when it happens, you be like, oh, okay. But there was a particular line. You was like, a couple of youngins, I'm trying to help them. Don't say what you're doing. Just let them, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Wait, a couple of youngins trying to help them see it through. Don't say what you're doing now. Let them see you move. And I felt that. I was like, I get it. So how many people on your team or people around you have you influenced with this blueprint?
I tell everybody this. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, RBF family, my regular family, even people I come across that I just want to give good advice to, or if they asking, like, a lot of people recently asked me to teach them to produce, and I think I'm a good teacher, but I'm not a good teacher. Like, I don't feel like I can teach you one-on-one how I learned things.
Right.
It's different. Like, I learned things differently. I didn't learn them the same way you might want me to teach them to you. So I want to teach you how I learned it. Go do this yourself. This is how I tell everybody. don't tell nobody what you're doing though.
Right.
Make this move, make that move. Know that the move you're making is for solely what you want to do. You gotta manifest it. You keep it on your mind. You know what I mean? You have a point A and a point B. That's why they call a plane ticket a manifest. From point A to point B, like that manifest happens in between. So you don't tell nobody, because the more people you tell, the more people that know, the more people that can put opposing energy on what you actually want to do. They could be happy for you, but then they could tell somebody that's not really happy for you. And then they could fuck around and fuck up the energy of what you're really doing.
Right.
Like things could really happen like that. I believe in that 1,000%. So now that I've been working like that, people asking me more questions. You still doing this? Oh, what you doing? I like that because I could give them the answer I want to give them. It's gonna be honest. It's gonna be I'm not telling you, or just wait, or I'm gonna tell you. And depending on who you are, if I want you to know, I'm gonna tell you. Because there's certain people you waste your energy on. You tell people that they don't do nothing with the information but talk about it.
Right.
You gotta act on what you know, or it's not knowledge.
Fact.
You just learning, and you're not. You know what I mean? You're not putting the action into what you're learning and making it the knowledge that you could really, you know what I mean, build off of.
Right.
Like that's how I like doing it. I like building. So even the whole Rich Boss family, yeah, we used to post something every day. Now we just building, man, videos, tracks.
Who's in Rich Boss family? Let's talk about that.
Oh, I would say all the active artists.
Okay.
Because we got a lot of people in the family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We gonna go with me, of course. Youngly, R&B Fleet, Bad Millie, Wreck, which is Offshore GP, Hayes 3000. And he look a little bit like Andre 3000, so we call him Hayes 3000.
Cool.
We got Ruger Ra, and my nigga Sky. I'm telling you, like the talent that we got is like it's uncanny to like having this much talent. Like each artist by themselves can do a solo album by themselves and you feel it. Like they all have something that everybody just don't have.
Right.
It's just crazy. Like Flea sing, he can rap too, but everybody write their own shit. He barely writes. He just be freestyling like I be doing. But I like writing. I like the shit I come up with when I write and when I freestyle. Rack doing his own thing. Brandon and Brian, I ain't forget y'all. Is they move. That's why I ain't seen my bros in a minute. So when y'all see this, don't be mad at me. B-Dot and Believe, producing and making beats. One of them's in California, one is in Virginia.
Okay.
No, the one that was in California is in Japan now.
Nice.
Like we a little bit of everywhere, but we trying to get everybody to come back.
Form like Voltron.
We about to Voltron this bitch. Megazord. Anything that forms together and creates one large energy, we about to do that.
So let's talk about your latest single, Wow For You.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, okay.
That sample in the beginning, that's my father.
For real?
Old song. Wanna lock it up. Look that up. That's on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we gonna have to put that on here.
I got everything to make sure nobody can sue me because he wrote that.
That's right. Cover all tracks.
Tracks.
What was the motivation behind that song? Just you wanted to just put something out there a little bit different, or you just was in a zone that
As
day?
I am, yeah. Like I don't never worry about what's going on. Really, I'm always into what I'm feeling.
Right.
So everything I'm feeling is like. I put out music as to what I'm feeling in the moment. I'm not really worried about what's popping. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I might throw a beat out that I'll get on a beat that's, correlating to how beats sound right now, but I'm not gonna rhyme the same way. Like, or I'll come with a certain, like the Wild For You song. It's like, it's a love song because I'm chasing somebody.
Yeah.
That, that obviously knows I'm into them. And on top of that, they running. So how I'm making it is a jungle situation. Like I'm giving y'all the video a little bit right now. Jungle situation, Queen running, and queen is at the throne, and I gotta find the throne. I gotta find the castle. I'm going through the jungle. I'm going through all the obstacles and baggage she left on the road, just to show her how much I'm wild for her. So I came up with this because, you know, in the summertime it's hot. Everybody's like kind of beasting for love and lust and just company and companionship. You know, that's just that energy that's going on. Summertime, hot weather, spring vibes. Everybody's trying, even the bugs and the animals is on it, springtime. So you know what it was. I can tell y'all I made that. I came up with that the past spring and came out with it this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I came up with that. But asked my pops if I could use that, and it just fits so well with the beat. Produced by Tone Jones. He's a fire producer. I started getting a lot of beats from Tone Jones. You're gonna hear beats from me and Tone Jones and Brandon Lee, which was family. You know, I keep it in the family.
A lot of artists who produce, they don't really have the some, not all, don't like to use other people's tracks. What made you say, you know what, let's just add a little versatility? Because you, again, like, I can never stress this enough, I've heard the versatility, I've heard the freestyles, I've watched it. So it's like, what made you say, you know what, let me step outside the box and say, let me try these guys or these chicks out, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, let me explore these options.
Well, I came to the conclusion that just like myself, I create differently or I think differently. There are other people are gonna have different ideas than myself, so maybe I can find some producers that think how I wanna get on a song, but put sounds together way different than I do, you know. And I found exactly that, you know. And a lot of producers still stick to original hip hop sounds. Tones, drums, and I like that because that's where I grew up, and I transitioned into what was hot now because of that, because I'm used to all of the sounds and being a producer. I've heard all of these sounds before. It's just the way that these producers do it now. It's a new way, it's a new thing. Hearing certain sounds together, you don't hear back in the day. It's just new. You just gotta get with it or get lost. Like, that's really how it goes. The way music moves, you always have the opportunity to do it how you want to do it, but know that you're targeting a certain audience every time you do it.
Right.
Because if you're trying to target the audience that's out there, you gotta target the music that they listen to, or you're not gonna get the same audience.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you stay true to who you are and what you want to do for real, you'll get that type of audience and gain those fans according to how you are and the music you put out. You know what I mean? They're not gonna get no false, you know what I mean? No false annotations. I don't know if I used that right, but it sounded good. They're not gonna get none of that from you. It's gonna be all real and authentic. That's how you want it.
Exactly. So we'll be back, y'all. Bronx Beats and Bars, PY in the building.
Traxx.
Sweet 16 freestyles and oh baby.
Sweet 16, sweet 16, sweet 16, sweet 16.
Alright, y'all, so to the K Bronx Beats and Bars in the building, and we are at the Sweet 16 segment of the show, and this is a real treat. Like, I get hyped every time I hear him freestyle, every time I hear him spit, and y'all gonna feel it the way I feel it, cause or even more, cause he's hot. There's no in between. He's hot. That's it. And if you can't catch them bars, rewind it.
I'm gonna try to make sure that I live up to what she's saying right now.
Like one of the greats. Like I kid you not. Like, you're one of the greatest lyricists that I've encountered ever in life. Like, you are definitely up there. And freestyle, you got it. So without further ado, sweet 16, my guy Pyro Traxx.
Yeah. Thank you, Kay, for having me.
Hey.
I'm gonna just go acapella style. These niggas look at me less, but they pointing the other way. Am I great or not? No Jenga, I pull this piece and shake your block. My spirit bomb if you taking shots. When I switch blade wave, I care less if you Kamei or not. 9,000 my power level. Y'all start at 60, it might sound minute until you on our level. Big Sig for you big kids with bigger toys. If I let Chica go, she making Illinois. A whole lot, that's an info. I promise you should really want to know what you info. Tops lift back after that cartridge blown. Fuck a 6-shot, I'ma need 7, 8, 9, and 10 though. I could see through it clear. Young Kareem mask, super scope, fuck up your hopes before your dream cast. Gun big, trigger shaped like a thick ass with my pile drive. This guy'll die when kicks flash. See, I secure a bag, sliding into bigger cuts. Just give it up, cause to be honest, I'm big on bucks. Who to trust, not one or nobody. Yeah, you like a skeleton, got no body. K here, and it's past September.
Hey.
Past memory, but it's past remember. It's more remembrance, and I'm high in heaven. We remember way more than 9/11. So we here with Bronx beats and Barz. And Pyro Traxx, boy, I go hard. So hard, I salute you. If you want the facts, it's the truth too. Traxx.
Hey.
Traxx facts, because I'm Traxx facts, it's the truth too.
Yo. Yo. Alright, y'all, we are out of here. September K, Bronx Beats and Barz, Pyro
Appreciate
Traxx,
you highly.
BX Stand Up, yo.
Go support September K, Bronx Beats and Barz,
Hey.
Instagram. Bronx Beats and Barz, Bronx Snack Traxx.
Hey, now how can we get in contact with
You
you,
can get
though?
in contact with me at Instagram at Pyro Traxx. It's PYROTRAXX. Twitter, PYRO_TRAXX. If you just Google Pyro Traxx, you'll see all of my social medias come up. You know, same name, never change.
Alright,
the same
y'all.
like 24 hours in a day.
Hey. Alright, y'all. September K, Bronx Beats and Barz, y'all. We out. Peace.